Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is a reaction to the Tottenham game. I had taken a day to process what I've been watching lately with United, and my God, I didn't think we get worse. I really didn't think after Eric Ten Hag we can get any worse. But now I'm just glad. I'm glad that there's three other teams that are way worse than us in this season. We are truly in a relegation form because this manager have only won 8 games of his last 24 games in charge. 4 in 12 in the Premier League. This is not good enough. I'm not starting a manager in out conversation, but I'm frustrated. Do something. Try something new. Change something. We know you don't have the players to play your system. But my God, we're so predictable. We know exactly what's going to happen every single game. Every single game. We're going to play the exact same way and lose. It's becoming too predictable, and we need to change something. Tweak your system a bit and get the best out of these players. You're not going to have 8 new players in the summer. You're not. You're going to have the exact same players you have right now. So you can't say, oh, I don't have the players to play my system, when we know we're not going to sign 8 players to replace your system. We're not going to sign 8 players in the summer. Therefore, you're going to still have to work with some of the players you got right now. And right now, nobody look good. All of them, nobody look good. In fact, most of them got worse when you got here. Before, you would say, okay, few players look bad, but we still got players that are performing. Mazraoui has gotten worse. He was one of the only new signing that was doing great, even under Eric Ten Hag, doing great in the first few games, but he got worse now. A young center back, not even playing. You got to do something. You got to help yourself in order to actually see next season, because it does not matter how much you like the system, how much you think we should stay with the system. If you keep losing games like this, I don't know if everybody's going to be behind you getting another season, because you have to stop the bleed. We are bleeding through our neck right now, and all you can say is, well, I told you guys this could get worse. Not this worse. It could get worse. We finish 8th again. It could get worse. We finish 10th. We are 15. And nobody's going to tell me these players are not good enough to have us at least further up the table. You can't tell me they're that bad of a players. And yes, do we need them change? Eventually. But it's not going to happen over the summer where all of the players get replaced. Therefore, you need to get the best out of some of these players. And right now, you're getting none. The forward line is shocked, couldn't score to save their life. The midfield is terrible. You have tried every combination. You end up putting Bruno there. Bruno Fernandes is not good playing deep. He's also your most creative player, and you playing him as in a like double pivot. It's not helping. Already struggling forward line. It's not doing anything, leaving the midfield open. Therefore, the center backs are getting exposed. You got to change them. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect different results. Be braver. Play the kids. If you think the players are not good enough, you're not going to see something different you haven't seen in Hoyland for the last 3 months you've been here. You're not going to see anything different from Casemiro you haven't seen and deemed not good enough. Therefore, play Kone if you don't have anybody else. Play the young guy. What's the difference between losing 1-0 and losing 3-0? It's still losing. So play the kids. At least they'll show you something different. If they're not good enough, so what? They can't do it worse than the current players doing. So why are you not taking a chance on some of these youngsters we have? You don't know what might happen. Throw Obi Martin in there. You might end up having a Rashford 2.0. Because Rashford didn't take a conventional route to the first team. He was thrown in at the deep end when we have nobody up top. And we threw Rashford there and see what he could do. And we end up getting a wonderful strike out of it. Xerxes, Hoyland have shown you they can't do nothing. That's why you play Mainu there. How about you play a youngster who actually just happened to be a striker, who's also physically bigger than most of them? And you throw in him with like 3 minutes of added time left? And that's insulting just to the kid. You say you didn't play young players because you didn't want to throw them into that type of game. But you're going to sub them in, or sub one in with 3 minutes to go. Barely any time to actually adjust it to being in the game. And you expect that is going to help his confidence. Man. All right, let me calm myself down. I thought I processed all of this. But this is frustrating. And I'm not calling, y'all don't get me wrong, I'm not calling for the manager to be sacked. I'm far from there. I realize that we have had this cycle on repeat for the last 12 years since Alex Ferguson retired. Sacking a manager, getting the next manager, just the decision making is beyond me. How on earth did we get Ruben Amorim mid-season when he was available in the summer? We should have gone for him then, sack Ten Hag. But because you kept Ten Hag, you should have let him finish the season, because we couldn't get any worse than now. Then get your manager in the summer, will give him a preseason, sign players that are catered to him. Because virtually you went and brought in a manager that played completely different system to the previous one, which virtually made the entire wingers in the club, which the only position we were stacking, useless. The only position we were stacking with quality players has been underperforming, I'll give you that. But still quality players, we were stacked in the wingers position. When you brought in a guy who doesn't play wingers, you made them irrelevant. On top of that, you made our fullback, who cannot neither play great as fullback, but at wingback either, irrelevant. So, the coach does not fit the squad whatsoever. But you got him mid-season, and it did not work. Almost like your sporting director told you that you guys thought he was not fitting in with the group, and his decision-making wasn't great. Maybe because he was the only one that actually built teams before, and when he was telling you guys, going from Erik ten Hag to Ruben Amorim mid-season is not a good idea. He was advising you guys against this, and time has proven to be correct. You guys could say, oh, man, but this can turn back around. But it will mean you're going to have to change everything about the players. Not a single player, not even a youngster, that is not Amad Diallo or like Udogu, who you just brought in, should survive. Because I like Igate, but I don't think Igate is all that. I need my defensive midfielder to get the ball from the back and wiggle out of pressure. I need a more combative midfield next to a proper DM. So virtually every single position is still suspected right now because none of the current players are suited to what you want to do. Otherwise, the team won't look so bad if you had a few players that are capable. The one player that was capable just got injured. And that's the only guy that the 4 games we won in the Premier League was all down to Amad Diallo pulling a rabbit out of the hat. And Amad Diallo is now injured. And we have I don't know. I don't see a win again. The next game is against Everton, a resurging. David Moyes has only had 5 games, had won 13 points. Ruben Amorim had 14 games, and he had 14 points. If this keeps continuing, I don't know how much longer this guy is going to survive. Because at this point, it's not helping him. Yes, I'd rather you die on your own sword, but you're dying right now. You got to do something about this. I'm not saying sack the manager, but you got to do something. You cannot keep losing games as a Manchester United manager. United is not as bad as 15th place, but we are in 15th because we keep losing games. All right, guys, I'm going to end this here. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, hit the like button, share this. I'm trying to get my YouTube channel to at least 10,000K by the end of this year. And I appreciate your help. Thank you. Bye.